So, yes.
Sure you're in the right meeting.
This is the first, I call to order the Personnel and Finance Committee. And we have our new citizen rep, Ms. Sheila. I'm sorry. I know. Felicia. Forgive me. Felicia, our new citizen rep, and co-chair Commissioner Singleton. First thing in call to order is the approval of minutes. Yes. Move the minutes forward. Clerk Moore.
Noted.
Next, we have personnel reports. Personnel. That's Administrator Holiday.
Administers. Good evening. Nice meeting you, Felicia.
Nice seeing you too.
Right.
Personnel update for, you guys see that?
Yes.
You have to.
The HR department, we have been continuing to focus on recruiting and screening for job applicants. We are interviewing and screening for GMR applicants as well, since that will be starting pretty soon here.
Okay.
And as well as risk management, workers' comp, just overall, the city's been maintaining a safe workforce as the previous months. We have a total of 64 employees, which is including the one reserve officer. We have one new hire in Public Works as a part-time residential refuge worker. We also have 2 terminations, one in public safety and one in Public Works. No promotions, 3 transfers. So we had one part-time on-call fire was transferred to full-time public safety plus co-compliance position. We had one person that was in the PSO1 co-compliance position back to just on-call fire. And Kira White, who was originally the accounts payable payroll clerk, she transferred to program coordinator position in CDBG.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Coordinator, what did you say she transferred to?
The program coordinator position,
CDBG.
CDBG.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hi, Commissioner Henry.
Commission.
I just wanted to hear her because I couldn't quite hear what she said.
Oh,
The first one you said, part-time went where? I missed that too, Ms. Galladay.
Okay, so it was 3 transfers. One person was the on-call fire. He went into the full-time position of PSO1 / co-compliance position. And the gentleman that was in that position, PSO1 / co-compliance, was moved back to the on-call fire. We currently have 8 open positions. Right now, we are going through the onboarding process for a grant manager. So hopefully that position will be filled soon, within next week. Kiara went to the program coordinator position, so that position is filled. We're still interviewing for the water restoration and revitalization project manager, as well as the deputy city clerk, the finance director position, which you guys do have the new resumes that was submitted for that, as well as 5 PSO officers.
I just have one question. The part-time public works, that did that fill that position, or that, because there was a position open for part-time? How did-
Yes, so there's actually 3 open positions, but one we're not going to replace that person as of yet. So one person was terminated and one was hired.
Oh, okay, just,
Should-
any questions for the?
The one that was hired replaced
The
the,
one that was terminated,
for the same duties, right?
yes.
All right.
That concludes the personnel report.
Honorable Chair, last month we talked about the decision about the marijuana testing.
Mhm.
And I see that those positions are still not filled, and we haven't had a response. But we did get a billing. When I look at AP said attorney has a billing for something.
Mhm.
So through the chair, I'd like to know, where is that? Where is that process that we're getting understanding about those drug tests for pre-approved, for pre-employment?
Pre-employment. But I think that's.
I mean, just keep dragging our feet and kicking
Yeah.
the can down the road on something that can solve a problem for us
Mhm.
is mind blowing to me. So please, sir, will you find out what is going on with that?
I'll get some information for you, where we at with that. I know it was a state thing, but now, there's some legislation involved with that to bring it to a city.
And can you,
Mhm. So it's something we're gonna have to.
can you discuss it, Chair, since you seem to have a little information?
I just have the information that we discussed the last time we had it on the agenda, but we can look further into it. With our
I thought that
HR.
was the deal last 2 months ago, we talked about it. See, I'm just kind of at the age now that I don't like just not doing nothing,
Okay.
spinning my wheels.
I'll get you some
So we
information.
talked about it.
We get you some information.
We
on
put it on the agenda for next month.
Yes.
And if you get the information, would you give it to us before
Yes.
your meeting? And so we'll have something to really think about?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Kennard.
Yes, I heard us speak about some movement there at the water plant. I'd like to
No, she
get a
didn't,
clear,
she didn't talk about.
wasn't at the water plant?
Go ahead.
No, ma'am. I didn't mention the water plant.
You didn't?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But, I'd like, Commissioner Henry was saying, we need more clarity because there are issues that we touched upon as far back as 2 months ago. And she's looking for answers, and we shouldn't have to wait that long for, answers, getting things in order, even if I'm a new elected person, that I have to wait so long for what I asked for. Sometimes it's 2 and almost 3 months in getting what I want.
We'll work on doing that and getting your information to you fast as we can. Thank you, Commissioner Kennard. Anything more? Go ahead, Minister Dr.
If I can,
Yes.
I did speak with our human resource attorney regarding the
Okay.
marijuana testing,
Mm-hmm.
just to get an idea if that was even possible.
Right.
However, right now, how the law stands is that it's still illegal federally. And since we are a municipality, it would bring more issues if we would just allow, for drug screening to not take place, basically. Especially since the city gets money federally, could cause some issues.
Okay.
So, her opinion was that it is individualized, like if the commission wants to change the policy, that's left up to us, but just be aware of the causes that it might. So her basic opinion was to stick to what we're doing now.
It would cause a conflict of getting federal funds or something like that, grants or something like that. That's what you're saying.
It could, that's what was told to me.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how the state do it then. Don't the state get federal funds also?
I'm not the attorney. I
Yeah,
just asked
yeah,
the
so-
question and she provided the answer.
Yeah,
And I'm not for sure how the state works, to
And-
be honest.
because I know municipalities can pass their own things, but it cannot supersede state law or federal law. So if the state is able to do it, I'm just trying to figure out why we can't. So I guess that'll be a legal question with the attorneys then.
All right, we'll look more into that. Well, go ahead.
Honorable Chair, there's another time to kick this can down the road.
Did we just?
Wait a minute. We pay this attorney, and I saw where she contacted her, and I saw how much we paid her to talk to Miss Galladay.
She
Oh,
doesn't
yes,
get
I-
paid for,
Yeah,
she's,
the HR attorney's already paid. She's paid one lump sum per year.
it's not.
Well, whoever
conversation.
it was commented that they had a conversation with her, and there was a time period and a payment.
Mhm.
So we asked this a long time ago. I don't want to hear an attorney coming up telling us what we should be doing without something to back it up. Nobody has a crystal ball. They can't look ahead and say, in 3 years, the city ain't gonna be able to stand this unless they got some proof. There's no crystal ball because she's an attorney. And we're trying to solve our own problems, and we're a home rule community, and we can do that. So if she's not gonna give us legal opinion on it, then somebody needs to go to the state and ask them to help us.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Duncan.
I had some time back about you guys considering getting the citizens a lawyer, where that lawyer could be in these meetings when the other one is not. A lot of things could be addressed and found out where we wouldn't have to take over the meetings, trying to ask questions or get answers and get none. But if a lawyer is sitting here and it's a citizen's lawyer, he's gonna answer all of our questions. And I ask you guys to consider that and do something about it. It gets to be like citizens is talking to deaf ears. And we said we was gonna start this year off doing what? Come on now, look where we are right now. And my last question, is a question, where's Mr. Mitchell at? You guys don't know? Nobody has an answer.
This is the
So you don't have to answer if you don't
I'm
want
gonna
to.
answer.
I want you to know that there's citizens who are concerned about what's going on, and you guys can stick your head in the sand and wherever else you stick it, but citizens are not being treated fairly. And if you guys think we are, then something is wrong with you, too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you for your comment. All right.
Can you do something about the citizens getting the attorney in here? Because this smiley face thing, it's out of whack now.
Thank you.
Citizens need some help here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Any more questions? Thank you. You got to be up.
Report for the city income tax.
Mhm.
For February 2024, we've been continuing to focus on preparing, of course, the individual and business income tax returns, as well as the annual reconciliation form. Tax returns are due on or before April the 30th of this year. If you live and or work within the city limits of Benton Harbor, as a resident, you are required to pay 1%. As a non-resident, it's 0.5%. For all business, corporations, partnerships, it's all 1%. Well, it's refunds. We've been getting a lot of calls in our office regarding refunds. I would like to let the citizens know, that please allow us up to 90 days. We have like a high flex of income tax returns that comes in on a regular basis. So therefore, if you do mail your tax return or send it in last week, you will not receive a refund next week. At least give us time to process. So the metrics for our income tax return for February, the difference between 2023 and February 2024, for individual returns, we're up 19%. For withholdings, we're down 6%. For total deposits, we're down 13%. For refunds, we're up 675%. It sounds a lot, but it's really not. It's just the matter of how it's computed. For revenue, we're down 87%.
Okay,
And that's from last year, February, this time to this year.
okay. Same thing with refunds, right?
That's correct.
Any questions?
No.
Questions?
No.
So tax returns coming in, and can you give me the balance on the income tax, so I have to wait for it?
For the bank.
Yeah,
as
how
in the
much?
bank, as
Well, we
in
can wait, I can
right
wait for, I can wait.
About
I can wait.
about 2.2 million.
Mhm.
That's in there now.
And, for the record, Clerk Moore, I do want to, for the city income tax, I want to, start taking application for the oversight committee that, we had before.
It's out there on the vacancy list that we present to legislative every month.
Every
We just haven't gotten any applicants for it.
Okay. I'm sure some commissioners will, hold their hand up and find some people to, I think it's gotta be a resident, a business owner.
2 residents, 2 non-residents, 2 business owners, and 2 nonprofit.
Something like, I know it's, but Commissioner Henry.
Honorable Chair, I just think you would revisit that, oversight. There's a reason why it went away and nobody even had a meeting. And some citizens are pretty upset about it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, because two residents, 2 non-residents, 2 business, 2 non-profit. And it has no authority. So some of them businesses said, well, then us are getting involved, but we don't have no authority to do nothing. And they stopped coming. So it's something that we need to revisit. If it's something that we feel like it's needed, and we've had it how many years and haven't used it? Come on, let's revisit it and look at it.
Let's do that.
Ask the clerk to send you how it started
Start.
and the rules of it.
Mhm.
And let's discuss it again next month.
Let's do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner,
Yes, because, I served on that board.
right, yeah, I remember.
And I got no notice that they had dissolved,
Mm-hmm.
no letter or anything. I think they're very disrespectful.
Okay.
Because I went there off my gas, my time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that's been done like that. And it's too many things that's so uncertain that's going on without even having a finance director in here for a long period of time. This should not be happening. And then especially with our city.
Right.
We got very intelligent people that's here supposed to be running the city.
Right.
So it seems like it's something very deliberate. And I don't like it.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Next we have, are you finished? Thank you. Okay. Next we have the financials.
welcome Felicia too. My name is Rhonda.
Hi, thank you.
Packet for the financials is quite large. The summary information is really the first four schedules, but I have a little commentary related to the activity for the month.
Okay.
Cash is really the first schedule here, and it looks like, general fund has some money as of the end of February.
Mhm.
There was money received for, the state revenue sharing came in at the end of the month, and also there were actually only 4 licenses for marijuana at 59,000, so there was 236,000.
Right.
So I thought we thought it was 5.
It came in kind of late, though.
4. Pardon me?
4, right?
That we got paid for.
What do we get paid for? Like
The
the
license.
type of license, the retail?
Yes,
So marijuana or medical and adult use?
yes.
We have to look at the
Because we definitely have more than 4, if that's the case.
Licenses.
Well, one just opened up, so he
That-
can't,
It would have been for.
it wouldn't be
last
any
year.
sales for him.
Probably be related to.
But most of them have the medical and the adult use.
But one just opened up this year, so there's no money counted. The state didn't count any money for them yet.
But
They'll be
Noble,
counted next year.
but Noble have a couple licenses.
So are you combining the license?
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Are the licenses combined medical and adult use when they send those in?
I don't know.
I'm not certain. I know last year.
Were they all the
two.
same amount?
Mhm. Oh, yeah. They take the big pot of the money that they get
Mm-hmm, yeah.
and they divvy it up by number of licenses.
Licenses.
So it's not like we get 59,000 and another
Mhm.
community is gonna get 80,000.
Right.
Everything's even and it's based on the number of licenses. Specifically, I can find out what they're counting and who they.
Yes, because we do have 2, well, one that's currently open that doesn't carry the medical anymore. It only carries the adult use. The other ones carry both.
No, I will look and see exactly. I can ask too who's included in that number and what the time frame is. I mean, we just got it in
Mm-hmm.
February.
And it was
thinking
probably
it may be
2023.
The 2023 piece, maybe through
Right.
September 2023, because that's the state's
Fiscal year.
fiscal year end. But I can get that information. Large projects for the month, there wasn't a lot of activity, there was no activity at all in the local road and alley program.
Mhm.
Again, weather, and I think that project is pretty much done. Paw Paw is in the financials for this year, there was no activity there, and the ARPA, from the state of Michigan has started up again, so there'll be some more activity going on with them.
Balance of the ARPA funds.
Balance is 913,000
Okay.
in ARPA. As of, February, you'll see it was a little higher, but we, in March, paid the Axon bill for the public safety vehicle
Oh.
software, so that brought that balance.
Okay.
You had asked about the income tax, it's 2.2 million as of the end of February. I will say that cash is still short.
Mm-hmm.
All that was there at the end of February is pretty much expended through paying payables through the end of February. So cash is very, very tight again, or still. Utility fund activity, there was activity at the end of February when the announcement went out. So there was a little flurry of
Okay.
payments.
Mhm.
We did, just to give you an idea, 155 individuals came in and set up payment plans
Oh,
with
that's good. That's
utility. The thing is, though, it only accounts for about 13% of the past due. So hopefully during this extension, we
Mhm.
can get more people in here to set up payment plans with the city. But there was, that's more than we've ever had.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's a good thing.
yeah.
So, pieces of information that I gave you that were questions from last meeting, I had a schedule on the, lawn mowing for the year, last year, and then I also did some research for Commissioner Henry on the section 425.
Oh, really?
This is did you see the
I
summary?
read that.
Okay, did that answer all your
That
questions?
answered my question, it's relieved me, I just
Oh,
didn't
it
want us
relieved
to
me
be.
as well, because I saw that the properties generate quite a bit of property tax that we collect, but it all gets sent over to Brownfield, so that will not have a huge financial impact on the city.
Right.
But I'm glad we looked, so we don't have any surprises.
So property taxes
Did you see
still
that,
coming
Jim?
in.
Did you see that email she sent?
Yeah, I got it right here in front of me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the property, it generates about close to 500,000 now. It
Mhm.
didn't at the beginning, but
Okay.
over the course of the years with all the development,
mhm.
generated about 500,000 as of 2023 for the city to collect now. I looked and I have to take part of that and run another set of reports to see how much gets captured by the brownfield,
Brownfield,
and
okay.
all but about 14,000 goes to brownfield. So it never lands in your hands,
Oh, okay.
only but for a minute.
Right.
Because then I have to turn around and write a check to Berrien County Brownfield.
Right.
So. The budget, I put together a preliminary budget schedule that need to still
You
go.
hear that, Commissioner Henry? You hear what she just said? What?
Thank you.
What I targeted was to get the final budget presented on the first meeting, at the first meeting in June.
June, okay.
Giving time to go through all the worksheets and the information with the directors, get their
Mhm.
input not only on next year, but what's changed from this past year,
Mhm.
to then have a draft at our next meeting in April.
Oh,
to
that'll
go
be great.
through.
That'll be great.
And then from that, comments from anyone who has
Mhm.
reviewed the draft to incorporate that or any changes. And so it will be a working document for 2 personnel and finance committee meetings. We will take input, changes, and comments from commissioners, the public,
Okay.
on how the first thing will be defining our assumptions.
Okay.
What we're gonna build into this project. But
It's good. It's good. You got a good timeline. Schedule. We're gonna stick to it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hildebrand.
Quite.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any questions for us?
No. Good.
Thank you. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
There's questions.
Any questions? Director Little, any questions?
I want to give you another thank you for giving me that information. I've been trying to get it for a long
I
time.
know.
Take it while you can get it.
Thank you again.
It's come from the chair, person in finance. I got the ball moving.
You got-
I'm a little dyslexic. I thought I was giving you.
Next, unfinished, public comments, yeah.
Yeah, I got a question.
You want a lawyer.
Is our income tax money in the same place in the same bank?
Yes,
Thank you. I wouldn't ask them because they seem like they got it sorted a little bit last time. But I'm a citizen, I need to know where the citizens' money in this town is. Don't
Public,
you?
yes,
Okay, thank you.
public comments. Ms. Kanaan,
Where are you standing in the 4 persons that you selected?
this you can read on the bottom, there
We'll
was,
get to that. I mean, we have.
oh yeah, I got it down on the, it's on the agenda, so we'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about
talk
that.
about it.
The finance director position. It's on the agenda. Thank you.
Are we any closer to getting our driveway, getting City Hall fixed through the chair?
Say yes, say yes.
It do need repairing, I know.
I didn't ask you that. We all know it needs.
Just say yes. I told you to say yes.
Don't start nothing.
But we have a list of things to accomplish.
I didn't ask about the list of other
And,
stuff.
Yes.
Just say you don't know.
Yes.
You don't know.
It's
what
been
to do.
discussion, it's been in discussion, you gotta start. It's been in discussion. I think the, residents, when they pull up, they need to just come to smooth, asphalt and
Well, it's not only the
Lines.
citizens, it's not only the citizens.
people that
It's
visit.
y'all too. Y'all have to
Yeah.
drive up in this driveway.
That's right.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's embarrassing. Do something about yourselves and ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you for hearing me out.
Next, we have unfinished business. The first one is, A is, Chips and Science Act. I said I was gonna keep talking about this with, the AI and, you know, the enormous of money being put out for the science and chips. And, semiconductors, you know, investments, you know. I'm sure Director Little still been putting out letters and, is that correct?
We've been doing what we can to try and get somebody interested.
You know, I know out there and, out there by the college, they turned that into an industrial, park or something, so, you know, it's something that can bring a lot of jobs, a lot of industry, and they use a lot of water, so we're gonna continue to discuss that and you can discuss it among yourself and get more, information about it. Even invest in your own, dollars if you looking to invest in, you know, in semiconductors. It's a lot of this, if you,
I'm the
investment,
robot. Plug me in, I'm the robot.
can we do that?
And it is a good thing to look in, it's the future.
It is.
We need to be educating some people for it and then also getting City Hall prepared for it.
Mhm.
It's the future.
Ms. Kennard.
I'd like to have a clear understanding. I'm late on the block and this may have been
That's
clearly,
Science and Chips Act.
science and chips.
Semiconductors, the big, the Biden administration put out a lot of big money because China had a grip on making all the chips and semiconductors that go in phones. It runs almost, it's in everything, automotive,
Technology.
yeah, technology. All right. Thank you, Clerk Moore. All right, we're gonna move on. Next, we have the finance director position. Now we have the finance director position. Those positions, we did contact 3,
And the fourth one came back today.
and the 4th one came back today, and no. So,
And the 3 come back
We've had all 4 respond,
and they all got jobs already.
already, yeah.
or they were no longer interested.
So we just sent out some more today.
They watch
You
YouTube.
finna spend another $800.
There's some more resumes was already in.
We just got some more resumes
Oh,
in,
yeah,
so.
Okay.
So look over those,
That's good.
carefully and see do they,
You gonna send them out to us?
I'll make
I
sure.
don't want us to
She-
be
she-
sitting
No.
on the,
I think they
3
may have only
weeks.
been sent to the committee. I
Oh.
can make sure that they get forwarded.
okay.
yeah, we don't want it to be 3 weeks out, cause a
Oh, we
good
don't-
employee go find him a job immediately.
We're gonna work diligently on this to get this position
Okay.
with the right,
The right word.
the right person.
The right person. Okay, let's do that. Don't drag our feet.
Oh, we need some more.
Yeah, we're gonna get more.
Okay,
Need more.
but don't drag our feet.
So if you-
because there's one out there looking for us.
Commissioner Henry being, Commissioner of Prestige and, been here, do you know any, candidates? If you do,
No, I do not know any candidates. But I know that there's plenty of firms out here that can do just what Plant Moran can do,
Okay,
and a lot cheaper.
thank you for your comment.
Now, that's what I do know. So, if we think we're gonna go and find one person to do what a firm is doing for us, and basically she's all by herself, but she does have backup of her employee, Plant Moran. And if you look at the AP, Plant Moran actually charges us a little extra sometime when she need help.
So that
Go ahead.
make me question then, do we have the firm then? If we paying for the firm and every time we go back for extra, do we, seem like that ought to be included in the,
Going back to.
Yeah.
Well, I think we pay an hourly rate to them.
Well, that changed, We were under their firm, but now we're working with her as employee. That's it. I mean, you make stupid mistakes and stupid things that happen to you.
Commissioner Kennard.
I would like for you all to start giving respect for a person's position as to when the other finance director was in there was things that he asked for. He had to go through Plant Moran. He had to work closely with Plant Moran for everything. So I think I was told that he wasn't as knowledgeable. Well, he was voted on, and everybody said he was just wonderful. It was just, I had your thumb. Gave me. You got it, Mr. Kennard. So I want you all to be sure that you all have checked a person's resume thoroughly for whatever position it is, where they come from, what happened from where they came from, to see what you got coming here. Because I think the man was on point, but everything he wanted, he had to go around his elbow to even get it. We are the bosses here. We're to see that things is in place like it's supposed to be. Know your position and do what you're supposed to do. You all were selected, you two, as to make the choice of the four. Did you have anything to do with them picking up the four?
No, I didn't.
When we have a body, that body is nothing without one of its units. If you got a body, your arm is missing. You got a handicap. So anytime you're missing not the full body, there's a problem. Anything that we do, we're supposed to go through the full body. Am I right or wrong?
Don't say what you gotta say, then I can say what I
The
gotta say.
full body is supposed to be involved in the city's business. And when we come up secondhand and we don't know what's going on, then there's a problem. So when you have a finance director to come in, make sure that this man knows his job by checking his background. If he's been to 5 or 6 different places and everything, find out why he's been to those so many places before you put him in there. Maybe there's a problem with why he's not staying in one position. So that's why I said, check the background. Do a little research. And the two of you can do that research well. God bless you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennard.
I would love to see us have a finance director.
I know
We could go to that one person, and Miss Hildebrand, she said she have to check into something you all asked her about. I heard that. But what I'm saying is a finance director is supposed to have that information already.
Thank you, Mr. Kennard.
I was just a little confused on the commissioner's comment. You said the two of us was,
Chose you 2 or 3 of you. I'm not sure how many
to do,
was picked to pick out the 4. I was told that the whole board was not included in making the choice of.
everybody
the 4.
got,
Well, I sent out a whole list. I know the 4, but I said, you look at the.
I seen that list,
It's 100, it was 12. I
And
said,
I
look
didn't
at.
get that until, I'm just coming on in January. When did you get this information? So I can't be responsible when y'all put it first out.
You was here, Commissioner Kennard, when I gave you I told you.
I know you gave me the list, but what I'm saying is,
you,
you said that you all, when I heard about it, you all had already chose 4. I said, but I wanna see what the whole list of people.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And we sent the whole list out.
I
asked
know,
you,
I
did you-
have the whole
If you've
list.
seen anyone
But y'all
that.
had already made the choice of the 4 when I heard about it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kennard.
I think everybody had an opportunity to look at all of them, and some of them just fell off because of their experience. It wasn't even a question about, was it, like you say, you try to pick the, best one or somebody with experience, some type of experience. Some of them was, the store clerks or something that, cashiers or something that apply for. So some of them just got eliminated just because of the experience stuff. But I think everybody, and all the commissioners had a chance to say
Yeah,
who did they want out of the
yeah.
whole group. So I don't know. I mean, to put it on just the two of us.
I know y'all wasn't asked which one.
Yeah.
Should they pick you all? You
No.
all had already picked
What-
4 out.
No, we didn't just pick it out, just the two of us. It was, everybody had opportunity to, and so, like I say, some of them just fell off just because of the lack of experience anyway. So I take the blame for what
Well, you guys do review it first, don't you?
don't you send them up when you get them?
Yes, I looked at them.
Yep, and then they get sent out.
Okay,
It's like the ones today, I think they went out too.
that's the process. It
Mhm.
works.
Thank you.
If I might just add something, because all of what you're saying is relevant and important. But one thing that's different about a situation like ours, whether you're talking about a finance director, a city manager, or any of these kinds of positions, many places, these people are strictly managers. You can have some people in these positions that go through 20 years and never sit down and completely do any of the stuff. They manage people who do it and tell them to do it. Our city is not in that. We don't have that luxury. Managers here have to work. They gotta be able to sit there and do the actual work itself and not just tell somebody to do it. So in addition to looking at basic qualifications, you really need to also look at how that person has functioned in the past and what they're interested in doing. You hire a person who, all through his interview, they're talking about, oh yeah, I manage staff and staff this and staff that, and you ain't got no staff here. What do you think he's gonna do when he goes in there and realizes that you expect him to roll up his sleeve, get some paper and pencil and go to work? He started looking right away. So that's an important piece of it, that you get somebody that is not only capable of managing, but also of being able to actually do the work themselves.
Good point.
Only thing that I'm saying, as long as we would have been without a consistent finance director,
Right.
we should have been used to working with this and got someone in place in all those many years. Because a city has to have their finances in line, if they're gonna run into something somewhere down the road. Watch and see what I tell you.
Thank you, Ms. Kennard. Commissioner Kennard. Okay, next we have the American Rescue Plan Act funds. We know we have to spend those down by the end of the year. Have them obligated and spent by 26. Director Little, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, correct. So we have $913,000 left for the opera funds that we have to have obligated by the end of this year. Obligated meaning showing the government that we have projects or whatever the money can go to. So, I know Director Little been working diligently, and if any commissioners have some ideas, talk to him about it under the government guidelines, that is, to how that money can be spent.
You suggesting that one of us go to the.
Anyone you can suggest that you know.
That's not the way the process works, Chair. That's the reason we're in trouble now.
We need to know. Go ahead, Ms. Kennard.
What I'd like to know, what does this fund, what can be done with this money? What are the things that we can do?
It's federal money.
I know it's federal money.
They got guidelines. I'm finna.
Okay.
Okay, just relax. I know.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna ask that we not engage in wish list type thinking.
Oh, okay.
We really need to very judiciously look at what we expend this money on, look to try to find ways that produce long-term and residual benefit to the city. And in some instances may even go into something that returns the money back to us where we can use it more than one time. I'll have a number of things that will be coming up to recommend to you in terms of how we should spend what's left of that.
Thank you. Mr. Commissioner.
Chair, do you think that the commissioners have some authority on making the decision where some of this money goes? I need to know if that's the truth, if that's part of the process.
Well, recommend, you look at the recommend how the money can be spent at federal guidelines.
I ask you a question. Are you telling me that the body has something to do with the spending of the allocation of some of this money? Or do we just wait for our staff to give us their recommendation?
Well, I'm sure you can have ideas, just like recommendation, you can recommend,
As an individual or as a committee?
Bring it to the committee.
And is something gonna come out of the committee? Personnel and finance or
I can't say.
public works?
Yeah,
or
see?
whatever it is,
Just look at the guidelines.
is it gonna come out of the body or is it gonna come from staff?
take it
And
to a
I need
committee.
know. I'm sorry?
Take it to a committee.
I mean, I know that's the process.
Yeah.
And I like to stay in the process, so
Okay.
when it starts wrong, it ends wrong.
Thank you. All right, next we have the new business resolution authorizing execution of the attached real estate purchase agreement for 729 Riverside.
Yes, sir. That is a property that the land bank has that's down here. Behind the creek down the hill there. And it's one of the properties that, $74, they're offering it to us for just what's outstanding on in taxes right now. It's one of the properties that I'm looking at. I'm still trying to assemble a set of properties that we can use to deal with this mediation situation, so we can get to where we can remove the brick that's on our ability to go after recreation funds because of what happened with the dialysis center, and also would like to be able to free up the property that's right there next to the state office building on this side. That's also part of that remediation thing. We can't, that's prime property in the heart of downtown that we ought to be able to use. And we can't do anything with it because it's a part of the deal that was made back then, just as the dialysis center was. And if we use it for anything, we'll have the same problem we have with the dialysis center. But if I can find some other properties like this that I can assemble and designate it for park purposes and get the park services and DNR to agree to it, then we can get out from under that.
Mm-hmm. Be able to get that property.
That's the goal. It's gonna take some work to do it, and it's gonna be more than just one or two pieces, because there were quite a few. I mean, just making the assumption that you all know exactly what I'm talking about. But when they did that, they probably had 12 or 13 pieces of property stuck all around town that are supposedly part of that thing that was being reserved and where you couldn't use it. If we tried to do it, in no way in the world it would have allowed it to happen, but nevertheless it did, and we can't use those properties.
Any questions?
No.
Henry?
Is the piece of property that you're speaking of now contaminated?
No.
It's clean?
Yeah.
And the property next to it is clean too?
Property next to it, we already own.
And it's clean?
As far as I know, it's clean.
Now that's kind of fixing some problems. But I have to ask through the chair, Mr. Little, if a rock was on our neck because we sold that property for the dialysis, how did we get money for the Ox Creek?
That's not money coming through the National Park Service.
It didn't come from the National Park Service?
No, ma'am. That came directly from Congress.
Okay, all right, thank you. Well, we need to take that contaminated land that they gave us for Jean Clark Park, and they gave us a lot of contaminated land. You really can't even put a park on, because the kids gonna be playing in contaminated land. So he's doing the right thing and finding some clean land that we can utilize.
Right.
And that's fixing a problem. To me, that's fixing a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to be careful that we're not taking the green space away from our future generation with this land. They gave it to us and it was contaminated, so we just got to make sure that we're still doing the right thing for our kids and the grandkids. Because green space is really important. And to prove it, look how they put money into our parks. We don't even live here.
And the green spaces we got as part of that thing, you can't put any kids out there playing on any. Who would want kids playing next to the street, Colfax Avenue up there on the corner? Market and Colfax, that's where that one piece is that I was just thinking about. That we could develop it if it was free. We could put something on it. I've been running around here for the last 3 weeks trying to help a developer find a site. And I had to pass right by that one. He said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "We can't do anything with it."
Well, it's a high interest property. It's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
It was valuable when they gave it to us for our Jean Clark Park, pristine dunes. It was valuable then. I sure hope it's valuable now.
So
I'm watching
70.
it. Numbers don't lie, people do. You hear me, Commissioner? Numbers don't lie, people do.
So what you kind of say? What you talking about? The beach, the dunes.
The dunes, when they wanted them
Oh,
dunes,
you talking about
22
back
acres.
then? Oh, okay. Are you talking about
when they wanted them 22 acres, they had to give us property, and it was supposed to be worth 22 acres of dunes.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us a lot of property, and most of it was contaminated. I can show you every one of them, and Eagle and the rest of them say it's contaminated property. But we took it.
Who took it?
We as the city, without Vaseline.
Thank you, Commissioner. So for $71,
You fixed it. I commend you, Mr. Lewis.
Since the move room.
move it, consensus to move that forward. All right. Thank you. Been a great meeting.
One more question. Through the chair, have we checked to see if there's any additional taxes that we owe the county for this lot?
The $71.44, whatever that number is, that is.
That is it.
That's it.
Thank you. Would you show us where that property is so we'll know?
Sure, we're glad to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennard, Commissioner Kennard.
Did I hear it spoken? Because it seems like I'm missing a lot and I'm always wrong. Is it true that our general fund is almost dry?
It's not almost right. Well, we've been using the general fund to replenish the utility fund. You know, that's for the public works and sewer bills and water bills and all that. So, no, it's not dry.
It's low.
It's low.
Close to it, though.
It's low. It's low.
Another thing, Chair,
Yes.
through this body, we need to figure out some way to get recycling monies. I just got off a website today, they talked about how much money they want to put into recycling
Mhm.
and the things that we need to do. But the first thing we have to do is separate that money off of that bill. And find out why we're not getting what we need.
Mhm.
Because we pay them a lot of money. And back to I gave everybody accolades that they was on that little pink slip, red slip, wasn't it? But they charging us $1 for it again. And through this board, that don't need to be. They can take that off of that easily. Just drop it.
Okay, write that down.
We'll feel like somebody is having some compassion for us if they take the $12 off. I mean, it's not like it's doing anything for us because the previous bill has your balance on it. And we need to do that
Okay.
from this committee.
Right, the Personnel Finance Committee.
Can you make
Yeah.
sure that
I will
we get a report on it, or
yes, I will. Who
the
did
quicker, the better we get it done, the
Yes.
quicker we can get other things happening. We paying high for trash. And we promised the citizens that we were gonna get it lower, much lower. And recycling is a way to do it. So if we're being stopped because of something simple like that, something's wrong other than it's human error. Because somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do. Because if I pay you, you're going to do what I want you to do. Though I'm going to take it and give it to him.
Recycle.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
if I might, I just met with the gentleman from Eagle yesterday regarding not only the subject of recycling, but our solid waste thing, period. You all may recall that last year, I believe it was, submitted a grant for $3 million to try and put us in a position to better handle our solid waste situation, inclusive of recycling. And we did not get funded for $3 million, but it did get funded for $1 million.
Okay.
And what we are going to, where we're moving toward is going to enable us to begin doing some limited recycling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also talking to them about, at some point, possibly source separation recycling, kind of like they were doing when I was in Ann Arbor, where you got a blue basket here, you put bottles, in, and one that you put
Oh, okay.
newspapers, another one you put cans, and a truck comes around with bins on it, and just pour it in the right bin, and it's
Mhm.
separated at the source as opposed to having to dig through. But in the meantime, if we get to where we're trying to go here in reasonably short order, we will. Right now, one of the things that stops the recycling is your trucks go out and pick up the trash, and then they go straight up to the dump with it. It never hits the ground anywhere where you can get into it. It just goes straight up there, it gets dumped and comes back. What we're talking about is a process where instead of our trucks constantly running up the road, they will come into this transfer station, dump the stuff out where we could have equipment separated. If there's something worth recycling, we can pull it out and save it and recycle it. Then when we're done, we just take and crush it all, put it in a big open top hopper with a cover on it, and drive it a distance to dispose of it. And that way we start to move to where we can do some effective recycling.
Mr. Henry.
You know, the state of Michigan made Sunshine Week. And that's where the government is supposed to be very transparent and open and look at the ethics of government. I thought that was just unique. And in the last week, we got more information than I could see in the last 6 months. So, the transfer station has been there and been on my radar. I know what it's all about. When I hear him say that they dump it out, that lets me know that there's some citizens gonna get involved in that. But my concern when I know about what goes in the garbage, the biggest portion of our garbage in Benton Harbor is garbage,
That's right.
food waste. So when you get all of that in a truck, you got a problem. So I've been in communities that have done food waste. They've recycled food waste to do things. So that's like us not paying attention to what's really happening here in the city. Yeah, there is a big population of children, but there's a bigger population of young, older people. So we got to pay attention that this is what our trash man has always told us about waste in Benton Harbor. It's food waste.
And that's correct. Makes it extremely hard to do something with it.
It is.
That's why I say ideally for us to do anything effectively with recycling, it's gonna have to be a source separation process. Like I said, where you get different colored bins, set them out there with bottles, cans, and whatnot, truck, totally separate truck from the regular compactor. Truck that has bins where you just take and dump the glass with the glass, the cans with the cans, the paper with the paper, and go on to the next stop. The stuff you're putting in there is clean. That's the only way most companies are going to buy it anyway. They're going to buy it with oatmeal hanging off the side and stuff like that, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's so much money in the recycling. If we don't incorporate some small business into it from our end of it, shame on us. There should be somebody that's making some money off of it, not just getting subsidized because they picking trash out, garbage. We need to. He's our man.
Right.
Mr. Little, he's the economic developer.
That's it.
And if we don't get to start talking about people issues, that's all right. We'll look back in 10 years and say, oh my God, we really let that happen. And you have to tell your grandkids how sorry you are. So let's do the right thing for us by getting some small business, getting some
Yes,
connected to all the money, cause all these millions of dollars, ain't nobody made no money but a few people
that's true.
that live in the city. Mr. Meeks and some other person, I can't remember who it is. There's millions of dollars. He came nowhere near to making millions of dollars, but somebody else did. So Mr. Little is the man to put our people in some jobs.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm through. Thank you
All right.
for my.
Ms. Kennard?
One of the things we did for the garden, one of the persons from the Unitarian Church, over in, Stevensville,
Mm-hmm,
came to me about 3 years ago, and we started taking leaves and composting
yeah.
the leaves, and we made our own little bins.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to do, but the only thing
Compost.
about, in Harper Street, we got plastic bottles all put up in the side streets where you would come in, sweep the streets, and
Mm-hmm,
we got so much debris in it till it would take forever to try to even clean it out, to even have it useful
mm-hmm.
for the garden. But as we get leaves from places that, you know, that has nothing but a clean area,
Uh-huh,
we have composted those leaves, and it enriches the garden.
garden, you do. You do.
So it's a great idea for like the fall leaves and things like that.
Mm-hmm,
If we could get the street sweeper to just go by and keep the streets swept, it don't have a chance to build up so much
jump.
garbage and stuff on the street.
Mm-hmm,
Our plan includes compost.
compost, yeah.
Rather large scale, because we pay $12 or $14 a ton to take leaves up there.
Man,
I don't want to take leaves up there anymore. I want to find an area that's large enough that we can put them out here, spread them in rows. And some places use foodstuffs to recycle.
Waste
That mixing
stuff.
it in there helps to biodegrade the leaves and chips and so forth much faster.
mm-hmm,
But it also brings with some other problems because it smells. You gotta have equipment to turn it over constantly.
mm-hmm.
But so I don't know if we'll get that far into it, but we want to take leaves and the chips that we generate from limbs and stuff, and instead of paying to take it up to the dump, take it out to a large area and spread it out, and let it degrade, and hopefully even turn around and be able to give away or even
Sell
sell
some of it.
bags of compost.
Good deal.
But we have to know that there could be no meat products
Oh, okay.
in that breaks down.
Oh,
They have to be all vegetative.
see.
Can you imagine the cost of trying to separate that?
We have to educate the people.
Yeah,
And
education.
there's a mechanism, there's some money to educate the people.
Educate
And
the
we need to start doing that.
That's what we got.
And there's another reason why we need a newsletter to educate the people about. Every chance I get, I got to say that. That's another reason. Do you realize that we are telling them to put all them bottles, plastic bottles in the trash can now?
Mm.
Do you know what my trash can look like right now, full of bottles?
See that?
And we could be
Mm.
doing something with them. We should not be putting them in the landfill. If you don't do nothing but crush them up,
Yeah.
but
Education. It's going to come out.
education.
Going to come out of the communication
I got
committee.
one more thing that.
Communication.
Guess what will happen? How many cans and bottles you find out that's got a refund on it? So
None.
if you had that little set back and tell them how many pounds of plastic, they would be out there picking up all the plastic
Yeah,
bottles
yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
that's one way. The
Mhm.
guys that like to hustle, as Cat Williams says, hustling.
Well,
That's
All
one
right.
way they hustle.
That's government.
But do keep in mind, that water bottles will be gone completely in a couple of months. Because they're not providing anymore.
they won't be gone. You come to look at my backyard.
We gonna
They
know.
won't be gone.
Thank you, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks for your participation, and see everybody at the next Personnel and Finance Committee meeting. Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Kennard, Commissioner, for that good information.
Okay.
If I could put her,
And look,
Ms.